He says it's working with employers to encourage workers in this age group to get vaccinated and for companies to track their vaccination status. Elderly workers are also urged to speak out if they feel uncomfortable about their assignments.
They are quite stoic. So they'll just press on, they'll just do what needs to be done. But I think more importantly, they need to speak out. If you have concerns, reach out to supervisors.
The average age of cleaners in Singapore is 60 years old.
Updated guidelines to improve ventilation and air quality in indoor spaces. Authorities say that this will reduce the risk of COVID-19 transmission, especially in enclosed areas with poor airflow. The recommendations come amid a resurgence in community cases here. Premises with centralised air conditioning systems, such as malls and office buildings, should ensure their ventilation systems are working and purge indoor air daily. Now, that means taking in outside air and moving it through the building. Recirculating of indoor air must also be reduced.
One can say that these systems would have the ability to draw in outside air. They have ways and means of doing it. The guidance note just says that take as much of outside air as possible and ensure that that system is working properly. So it's related to working within the capabilities and the limits of existing systems.
In response to media queries, one building owner says it welcomes the updated guidelines and will update its current practices to continue to improve air ventilation. Owners of premises that use outdoor and indoor units are advised to open their doors and windows frequently. They should consider installing window-mounted fan systems. Those with toilet exhaust fans should keep them running. Their sanitary system should also be working well. As for places that are naturally ventilated, like coffee shops and markets, they should use fans to improve the circulation of air.
Singapore's stockpile of Pfizer COVID-19 shots can now be stored, transported and used more easily. This will give the vaccination drive here a boost. Singapore announced relaxed storage conditions following a similar move by drug regulators in other parts of the world. They include the US and the European Union. Health authorities say the vaccines can now be stored at fridge temperatures for up to 31 days. This is based on new data from Pfizer. Under previous guidelines, the shots could be kept at -20 degrees Celsius for up to 2 weeks and fridge temperatures for up to 5 days. Long-term storage, though, remains at -70 degrees Celsius. Authorities say the new conditions will help ensure Singapore's vaccination program runs at a steady pace.
2 more community care facilities, or CCFs, have been activated to help house COVID-19 patients who show mild or no symptoms. The 2 facilities at the former Ang Mo Kio ITE and CSC at Loyang, they will be able to house a total of about 1,700 patients. The Health Ministry says that the 2 new facilities activated are an added buffer if there's a need to increase capacity. There are currently 3 other CCFs at De Resort NTUC, Tuas South and Bright Vision Hospital. But these are not at full capacity. Together, all 5 of them can house over 4,000 individuals. The ministry says that each facility has been designed and built to rapidly adjust its capacity depending on need. It will continue to review the situation and adjust capacity accordingly. An expert says that the public shouldn't read too much into the move. The authorities are likely just getting prepared in case there are large outbreaks related to more shopping centres, HDB blocks, or, in the worst case, dormitories.
Currently, Singapore and many other countries in Asia hospitalize even the asymptomatic individuals, or those with mild symptoms. These people are going to take up hospital beds, which might be needed for people with more acute illnesses. One of the ways that this has been done is through cancelling of elective surgeries, which have been cancelled for close to a month now. And this is going to cause a significant backlog when they open up again. So opening up the CCF will take the burden off the healthcare system for people who are well or asymptomatic, but still infected and infectious, and allows us to continue treating, the common conditions that are still happening.
Singapore has reported 18 new community COVID-19 cases. There are also 3 positive dormitory cases. 15 cases are linked. 8 of them had already been quarantined. 7 were detected through surveillance. 6 cases are currently unlinked. There are also 9 imported cases. 3 are returning Singaporeans or permanent residents. All of them have been placed on stay-home notice on arrival. In all, there are 30 new infections, taking the national tally to 61,890.
Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong is inviting his Japanese counterpart to visit Singapore when the COVID-19 situation allows. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga had been slated as the keynote speaker for this year's Shangri-La Dialogue, but the summit was recently cancelled due to the pandemic. In a phone call to Mr. Suga, Mr. Lee said that he looks forward to deepening economic and public health cooperation with Japan to support recovery from the pandemic. This includes areas like mutual recognition of health certificates. Singapore will also be lifting existing requirements on food imports from Fukushima. They include pre-export tests and certificates of origin.
Still to come, Singapore and the Gulf region can be partners in the fight against climate change. And more charges for the maskless woman in the viral Marina Bay Sands video.
Longing for a tranquil lifestyle? Singapore Property Show presents exquisite developments in the outside central region where peace and serenity await. Where great connectivity means amenities are never too far away. Experience stunning 4D virtual tours of these properties and get expert advice on property investments at our webinars. It's all happening at sps2021.99.co. Register now. The Singapore Property Show 2021 is proudly organised by MediaCorp and our esteemed partners.
It's a human catastrophe of epic proportions. Thousands are dying every day in India as it battles the raging coronavirus crisis.
हमारे सामने उन्होंने दम तोड़ा, हम कुछ नहीं कर पाए. मेरी वाइफ चली गई, मेरे दोनों ब्रदर-इन-लॉ गए और मदर-इन-लॉ एक्सपायर्ड हो गई.
Has India lost control of the pandemic?
If you step out right now, you step out to die.
India's COVID catastrophe. Insight, Thursday on CNA.
Every day, the financial world goes through dramatic rise and falls. We'll track the biggest market movers and show you where the opportunities lie. Get the experts' take on the performance of key indices. Plus all the analysis to help you understand forces driving global economies. The daily business news you need. Only on CNA. This segment is brought to you by Xeon Corporation.
They treat me like a slave.
तो एक के चलती हजारों आदमी भूखे मर जाते हैं.
मैं तो सोचता था कि मैं कहीं मम्मी को मैं बहुत बोलता रहा, मम्मी मुझे एक कुछ अच्छा पॉइजन दे दो कि मैं मर जाऊं.
Oh my God, they've been blasting the Rex.
A brand new season of Undercover Asia.
Bearing the brunt of worsening global warming.
As we see the whole landscape changing, it is really impacting our way of life.
Can we reduce our carbon footprint to fight climate change?
We're doing our bit to not rely so much on the coal-fired power stations to power what we do in our house.
Are the steps we're taking really enough? CNA correspondent fighting climate change. Friday on CNA.
Malaysia is seeing what many are calling a new dawn. I'm here to make sense of these changes taking place and bring you stories from a country that's charting a new direction for its future. Let's go. CNA Kuala Lumpur.
This segment is brought to you by Xeon Corporation.
In business tonight, Singapore's industrial output has slowed further in April, growing just 2.1% from a year ago, the lowest in half a year. It's largely due to a slowdown in the biomedical sector, especially when compared to its better performance last year. Biomedical output fell more than a fifth. Even with medical technology output growing nearly 13% with higher export demand, the sector was weighed down by pharmaceuticals. It slid nearly 25% on year against last year's 100%.